This was a pure battle for legacy, history, and the future of professional golf. If you love the untold drama behind the game, make sure you subscribe to Golf Hub for fresh inside stories every week. With $10 million on the line, Rory McIlroy, the face of the PGA Tour, found himself in a true showdown. Not just against rising stars, but against a rival carrying the full weight of the LIV Golf movement. When they stepped onto that final hole at the DP World Tour Championship. That last swing wasn't just a swing, it was a statement that echoed across Dubai and sent shockwaves through both the PGA and LIV camps. Closing out the season with a moment golf won't soon forget. The DP World Tour Championship in Dubai. It's always been a magic stage for Rory McIlroy. A place where he's turned pressure into highlight reel dominance, stacking some of the coldest wins of his career. But in 2025, the energy around him was different. The stakes were massive. Rory stood on the brink of completing the legendary Dubai double yet again, chasing both the tournament title and a fourth straight race to Dubai crown. A win would give him his 7th season-long title, placing him just one step behind Colin Montgomery's iconic 8, and the entire golf world locked in on every swing. This wasn't just another trophy run. It was a legacy-defining moment for the man aiming to solidify himself as the king of European golf in his era. But the path was anything but smooth, with a leaderboard full of hungry challengers, including live rival Tyrrell Hatton and ice-cold Danish phenom Rasmus Hajard, both ready to blow up his script without a hint of fear, all week long. The pressure kept building at the stunning Jumeirah Golf Estates. After a steady but nothing special start, Rory finally snapped into real form in round 3, firing a smooth 468 to jump into a share of the lead. His putter betrayed him early, but he closed with fire 3 birdies in his last 5 holes, swinging like a man waking up right on time. A classic McIlroy surge lit up the course like a warning flare. He wasn't just in contention. He was coming to take the whole thing home. Rolling into that Sunday finale, Rory stood tied at the top with Denmark's Rasmus Hajard, young beast who attacks pins and drains clutch putts like it's routine. One shot behind lurked a dangerous pack, led by the fiery, outspoken Tyrrell Hatton, one of the biggest European stars to jump to LIV Golf and bring that rebel edge with him. The setup was perfect for a final day showdown that went way beyond golf. This wasn't just a leaderboard. This was a quiet war between the old system and the new rebel league. Tradition versus disruption. Legacy versus rebellion. And hanging over everything was that $10 million purse, glowing like a reminder of exactly what was on the line. The energy between the 3 contenders was electric. Nobody was blinking. On one side stood Rory McIlroy, the PGA Tour loyalist, the unofficial voice of traditional golf. He's taken heat, sacrificed money, and still never wavered. A win for him wouldn't just be personal. It would feel like the PGA Tour itself landing a heavyweight punch. Across from him stood Tyrrell Hatton, emotional, fiery, fully committed to his LIV Golf move. If he pulled this off, it would be a massive flex for the breakaway league, proof that their players can still show up and dominate on one of golf's biggest stages. And then there was the wild card, Rasmus Hajard, young, fearless, ice in his veins. The one guy who wasn't carrying a political war, only a hunger to take down 2 giants and claim the biggest win of his life. The young Dane had nothing to lose and everything to shake up. Rasmus Hajard, the future of European golf, was a straight-up talent with zero loyalty in this political storm, chasing nothing but the biggest win of his life. That set the stage for a 3-way mental showdown. For Rory, it was about guarding his throne. For Hatton, proving himself. And for Hajard, a real breakout moment. When the final round began, the course crackled with anticipation. The leaders in the last group swung like it was a heavyweight fight from the first hole. Hajard came out blazing to early birdies, clean strikes, fearless confidence, suddenly snatching the outright lead. Rory played the veteran's game, calm and steady, sticking to his plan, waiting for the right moment to strike. Hatton moved like a powder keg, ready to explode. Birdieing one hole, dropping a bogey the next, keeping himself in the mix while trying to lock down a rhythm by the turn onto the back nine. All three were separated by just a single stroke. That's how razor-thin the tension was. Every fan, every caddy, every camera operator could feel it. One brilliant chateau, one slip-on, Dubai's notorious back nine, would decide everything, and the Earth's course didn't disappoint. Rory, Hadrid, and Hatton were locked in a showdown that felt less like golf and more like a high-stakes chess match under pressure. On the par 5 13th, Hatton executed a sniper-perfect iron, landing just 3 feet from the pin. Easy birdie. Suddenly, he was tied for the lead. The pressure shifted hard onto Rory and Hadrid, and that's when the young Dane cracked. On the 14th, he three-putted, handing himself a painful bogey, his first real sign of nerves. Rory felt the opening instantly and responded like the champion he is. On the same hole, he drained a cold 20-foot birdie putt and gave a calm fist pump that sent a message. He was locked in. That two-shot swing flipped everything. Rory now led Hadrid and stood toe-to-toe with his LIV Golf rival, Hatton. The storylines collided perfectly, a head-to-head showdown between the PGA Tour's top dog and one of LIV Golf's loudest stars. And all of it would be settled on the legendary par 5 18th, a hole that felt like a trap ready to snap. The creek running its full length was the last line of defense between glory and heartbreak. Hatton, in the group ahead, smoked a perfect drive down the middle, setting himself up to attack the green in two. His fairway would follow a beauty that rolled to the front edge of the green, leaving a long but makeable eagle putt. That was his challenge to Rory. Loud and clear, Rory lined up. He knew a birdie might force extras, but deep down, an eagle could seal the win. He grabbed the driver and unleashed a towering tee shot, a high, clean draw that split the fairway like it belonged to him. His lie was even cleaner than Hatton's. Every step down the 18th fairway told the story. This wasn't just another hole. This was the moment that defined the fight, the legacy, and the championship. This was for the Dubai double. This was for his 7th race to Dubai crown. This was for the PGA Tour itself. Rory had just over 250 yards left, the exact distance he loves to attack. He grabbed his 3-wood, took one last calm look at the target, and unleashed it. The strike was pure. The ball lifted into the desert sky like a laser, floating straight toward the flag with that controlled, effortless power only Rory can deliver. It landed softly on the green, rolled past the cup, and settled about 15 feet away, an eagle putt that could win the championship outright. The crowd erupted. That swing summed up his entire legacy: bold, fearless, and executed perfectly under pressure. But the drama wasn't over. Hatton, waiting on the green, lined up his eagle putt to take the clubhouse lead. He rolled it clean, but it drifted just past the edge, inches from dropping. He tapped in for birdie. That meant the stage now shifted entirely to Rory. 2 putts for birdie would force a playoff. 1 putt for eagle would seal history. The crowd went completely silent. Rory stood over the 15-footer, laser-focused. He had faced pressure before, but this carried a different weight, bigger than a trophy. Taking a deep breath, he stroked it smooth and steady. The ball rolled end over end, tracking perfectly toward the cup. For a split second, it looked destined to drop, but at the last instant, it caught the right edge, spun out, and slid away. A collective groan swept the course. The championship wasn't his in regulation. Now came a mentally brutal 2-foot putt to force a playoff. The same man who had just delivered some of the coldest shots of his career was suddenly staring at a tiny tap-in that felt like a 20-footer under the weight of it all. He breathed, centered himself, and rolled it in clean. Playoff secured. The playoff on the 18th was the perfect, nerve-shaking finale. Both players smoked solid drives, but Hatton's second shot drifted slightly too far, landing him in a greenside bunker. Rory, learning from his earlier run, played smarter, laying up to his ideal wedge distance instead of forcing a hero shot. Hatton chipped out clean, but it wasn't enough. He faced a slippery 10-foot par putt, and the door to glory was wide open for Rory. Meanwhile, Rory stepped up from the fairway and dropped a gorgeous wedge that spun perfectly around the pin, settling just 4 feet away. The kind of shot that makes a crowd collectively hold its breath. Now all the pressure shifted squarely onto Hatton. He needed to sink the par putt and hope Rory faltered. Hatton stood over it, hesitation visible in his stance. The putt slid off the low side and missed entirely. Suddenly, the championship rested entirely on Rory's shoulders. 2 putts to win, but he only needed 1. Calm, collected, and exuding the confidence of a true champion. Rory strode to the 4-foot birdie look and stroked it dead center. The crowd erupted. Rory McIlroy had done it. He had claimed the DP World Tour Championship and locked in his 7th race to Dubai title. This win wasn't just another trophy. It was a story of pure brilliance, gut-wrenching misses, and relentless willpower. In a season overshadowed by politics, schisms between the PGA and LIV Golf, and mounting pressure, Rory's victory sent a clear message. Greatness still emerges when the heat is at its fiercest. PGA loyalists looked on as if Rory was carrying their entire legacy on his back. LIV supporters watched, hoping Hatton would flip the narrative. When the dust settled, it was Rory standing tall, proving he could command the biggest moments under the highest stakes. For fans in the gallery, the emotion was palpable. History and modern chaos collided in one dramatic finish. Players across both tours reacted instantly, some praising Rory's poise, others quietly acknowledging how that back nine reshaped the conversation around the split in golf. Executives felt it too. The PGA got a symbolic victory through their marquee player, while the LIV camp realized just how thin the line is between glory and heartbreak. This wasn't just a fight for money, trophies, or stats. It was a battle over the soul of golf itself. But for Rory, it carried a personal weight. After years of scrutiny, political crossfire, and relentless pressure, he had once again silenced the noise. That birdie putt wasn't just a win, it was a reminder of why he became the face of modern golf. And as he lifted the trophy, relief, pride, and that unmistakable fire burned in his eyes. This wasn't the end of the rivalry, it was a statement. Rory McIlroy had reminded everyone that, when it matters most, he still owns the stage, not by a long shot. The LIV versus PGA battle is still alive, messy, and unpredictable. But for one night in Dubai, Rory owned the story, the spotlight, and the golf world's attention. His legacy didn't just grow, it roared back to life right in front of everyone. It was a huge win for the PGA Tour in this long standoff. With LIV Golf, their biggest star went toe-to-toe with a rival from the new league and came out on top. Rory wasn't just a generational talent, he was the heartbeat of traditional golf, proving that consistency, longevity, and unyielding fire still define him. That 7th race to Dubai title put him in the rare air of European golf's all-time giants. It showed insane consistency, remarkable longevity, and a competitive fire that refuses to fade. But this win also left the golf world buzzing. Tyrrell Hatton and the LIV Golf crew. Even in defeat, Hatton proved he could battle the very best, bringing energy and intensity that made the showdown unforgettable. The big question now, will this spark tours to blend again or just intensify the rivalry? And Rory, after carrying the PGA Tour on his back all year, This win feels like pure validation. It rewards his loyalty, his leadership, and his ability to stay composed under extreme pressure. Yet cracks of fatigue were visible in the final round moments where the weight of expectation pressed on him. How long can he remain both elite on the course and the political voice of the sport? Looking toward 2026, professional golf remains split, volatile, and unpredictable. But one fact is clear: Rory McIlroy is the one everyone has to chase. His Dubai victory wasn't just a trophy, it was a statement. No matter the politics, the money, or the noise, golf is still decided on skill, nerve, and the pressure of the moment. And Rory proved he still delivers when it counts most. Now, Rory's mission to Tiant eventually surpassed Colin Montgomery's record of 8 races to Dubai titles is shaping up to be one of the biggest storylines in golf. Can he pull it off? Can he keep the young guns like Rasmus Højgaard at bay while fending off the charge from the LIV Golf League pushing up behind him? This next chapter is about to get wild. If you love untold stories and real drama in golf, make sure you subscribe to Golf Hub channel for the inside scoop every single week. The fight for the future of this sport is far from settled, but with his historic win in Dubai, Rory has proven once again that he's still right at the center of every conversation. He's not backing off. He's not fading out. He's standing tall when the pressure hits hardest. His performance had fans worldwide glued to the screen, and the way he handled every twist and turn felt truly legendary. So tell us, was this Rory's coldest, cleanest victory yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the next chapter of this epic golf saga.